1 out of 3,333 people that play high school basketball will make the NBA. Some players will have easier routes due to their father or maybe just their circumstances. Others will have to fight just to get recognition. Others have to fight battles that not many people have to fight. And that's where the story of Hansel Emmanuel takes place. Hansel Emmanuel is a high school basketball player that plays Life Christian Academy and is only 18 years old. Now, despite being a damn good high school basketball player, a lot of people really know him because of his situation. The reason a lot of people know him is because he only has one arm. Now, we have seen athletes before that only have one arm play in the professional leagues. Not too long ago, the Seattle Seahawks drafted Shaquem Griffin, and if you recognize the name Griffin, that's because he was the brother of Shaquille Griffin. He was a stud for UCF and he was a really damn good linebacker. Unfortunately, his NFL career has not been the same, and I don't even know if he's in the league anymore. Now, some people have speculated that the reason why Shaquem Griffin hasn't done that good is because of the role that he was given on the Seahawks. Even though he was the best linebacker in college football at the time, he was selected in the 5th round, and a lot of people thought it was because of his disability, even though he proved himself at the high school level and the college level. And that's where many people start to draw some comparisons when it comes to both of these guys' situations. They do have a difference, which is instead of an arm, it was Shaquem Griffin only having one hand. But I don't think that should make a difference. Now, this isn't one of your local news stories. It's like, oh, local boy only has one arm and is playing basketball. And while those are cool news stories, those kids never really turn out to develop because the odds are stacked against them. A somewhat similar but different story ran about a kid by the name of Jamarian Styles who played some middle school and a little bit of high school basketball, but he had no arms. The story ran in 2018, and now in the year of 2022, the only thing I can find about him is a Max Preps profile for varsity football. So while having a disability and playing in sports, it's a cool news story, but most of the time it doesn't really translate to the professionals. However, Hansel Emmanuel is very much different, and I think this has the possibility to be the first one-armed player in the NBA. Now, since there are no recruiting profiles on him and Max Preps does a terrible job at recording stats, we don't have a whole lot of information when it comes to his stats. The only thing we can find is an article that talks about his high school state championship where he would average 26 points per game, 11 rebounds, and 7 assists. Even though there are multiple viral videos about him and he has so many highlights that you could find on the internet. Which leads me to my next question, and that is, why isn't he getting so many scholarships and why is he not being recruited? Now, he does have one scholarship, and that's to Tennessee State University. So in this video, I want to go over not only his history and also what's going on with his recruiting, and does he have a real chance to make the NBA? I know that was a long intro, but before I get into this video, if you guys could leave a like on this and subscribe to the channel if you're new with notifications on. I'm trying to hit 100,000 subscribers on this channel by the end of the year, and your subscription would be greatly appreciated. Let's get into the video. Also, on my group channel LUT, we just posted a day in the life of LUT. If you guys could check that out, I'd very much appreciate it. I'll put it at the end screen at the end of the video, or the link will be in the description below. With all that being said, let's get into this video. In 2004, Hansel Emmanuel was born in Santo Domingo, which is the Dominican Republic. Growing up, he had a lot of struggles with stuff like money, and he always grew up in poverty. And just at the age of 6 years old, while he was scaling a brick wall while playing with his friends, the wall collapsed on him and on his arm. Now, luckily for Hassan, he was able to live, but unfortunately, they could not save his arm and they had to amputate it. Now, Hassan's basketball journey is a little bit interesting because he wasn't exactly from America and he didn't play ball in the Dominican Republic. He would practice and stuff like that and he played street ball, but it wasn't until 2020 where he would get noticed. One of his street ball clips went viral in the Dominican public media, and that's when someone by the name of Moses Michael wanted to get him to America so he could play ball. Now, Moses Michael was actually a teammate of Hassan's father, so it was an easy choice. At the age of 16 years old, Hassan would move to America and he would get a scholarship to play for Life Christian Academy in Florida, which is a private school. And as I mentioned earlier, he would go on to average 26, 11, and 7, and he would lead his team to a state title. And if you've seen him play on social media, or if you just have watched some of his games, you can clearly see that he's talented despite being one-armed. Now, something that I do like about Hansel is that he says that he doesn't want to be looked at as just a one-armed player, but he wants to be looked at as a normal prospect. And I love that mentality, and he is such a hard worker. I will say though that it is extremely hard for people to look at you as just a normal prospect, which I don't necessarily agree with, because if you're a talented basketball player, whether you have a disability or not, you're a talented basketball player. So with everything I just laid out for you guys, I think it's time we now ask the question, why is he not getting that much attention from recruits? And there are two main reasons that at least I can look at, and I think a lot of you guys would personally agree with. Number one is the obvious, and that's his arm situation. From what I can recall in professional sports, I don't remember that many players that actually made it to the league and had a successful career that had a disability. The most popular example I can think of is Shaquem Griffin, but I told you guys about a situation earlier in the video and how he only made it as a 5th round draft pick and he hasn't done much. As I will say though, that him making the league with his circumstances are definitely impressive, and that's not nothing, but I just mean in the general public. And with all that being said, it's really hard for recruits to be like, okay, he's gonna be the first, because once the first happens, then the window for the second player to enter the league with a disability, and possibly there's a percentage in the NBA of players with a disability. Even though he is damn well NBA ready, he's 6'5", he can dunk, he's lengthy, tall, in shape, can perform on the offensive and defensive side, he can do everything you would need out of a player. Which now leads me to my second reason, and that's because he hasn't played a whole lot of high school basketball. His first season of high school basketball was as a junior, and now he's a senior, which means he has one more season left to try to prove to recruits that he's talented. Now from most people I know, and I don't know that many players that went on to have crazy careers. I know someone that was a quarterback at the University of Arizona, and he didn't get his first scholarships till his junior and senior year. Now obviously the said person I'm talking about played for 4 seasons, as Hansel has only played for 1 season of high school basketball, and currently he is playing in some AAU circuits and stuff like that, which leads me to believe that some scouts are looking at him right now. And if he does go on to have a pretty good senior season, even matching what he had with 26, 11, and 7, I think he'll get a scholarship. Now obviously we have to face the facts that not every talented prospect, even if they don't have a disability or not, are not always going to make the NBA. According to statistics, only 1 out of 3,333 people will make it to the NBA. So can Hansel Emmanuel make the NBA and be the first one-handed player to make it? If you have seen him play, if you've seen the way he's able to control the ball and shoot and play defense despite being one-armed, I absolutely believe he can. The possibilities are endless for this kid, and I definitely cannot wait to see what he can do. Now with all that being said, if you guys did enjoy this video, make sure you do leave a like on this and subscribe to the channel if you're new with notifications on. Let me know if you guys want to see another video like this where I talk about a certain player in their story, and I got the video idea title from Mike Korzemba, so shout out to him. Of course, like I did mention earlier, make sure you do check out LUT. We just put out a day in the life video, and honestly it was pretty funny, so make sure you guys do check that out. We upload every single Friday 4:30 p.m. Eastern time, so make sure you guys do check those videos out when they drop. With that being said, I will see you guys in the next video. Have an amazing day, take care, peace. If you want to check out the LUT video, it should be on the screen right now, and on top of that there should be another video that's recommended for you.
Bro, sometimes I wish I never met, but we both know that's a lie. Hard to leave it all behind me, it feels alive. This big ass storm stuck in my side. I know that I could give in to my pride at any second.